Hey everybody, this is Lewis Speaks 2019, and I want to take a moment to talk to you about dealing with people that are on God's team. You know, my mother always told me when I was younger to make sure that I dealt with people that were always on God's team. And when I was younger, I found people that were on God's team to be boring, to be not real, to be phony, to be fake. You know, these were people that were trying their best to live according to Bible principle. And I was very hard on them. I was very harsh. I was very judgmental and critical. I always felt like they were just not being real about everything. So I ventured out and I dealt with people of the world. And what I realized is that people of the world, they were not real either. They were real like. They would put on these facades that were loosely based on reality, but it wasn't real. It was not real. And what I come to find out is that these people were very self centered. They didn't have God in them, they didn't have love in them. They were just looking out for self. And so I drew the conclusion after so many experiences with these worldly wicked people. I drew the conclusion that it's really important to deal with people that have a spiritual inclination, that are of the Spirit. And what does it mean to be of the Spirit? Well, what it means is that you live to do the will of God and not your own will. That's in a nutshell. People that are of the Spirit ask the question, how can I be a reflection of God's grace, His love, His mercy, His kindness, His tenderness? How can I be a reflection of that and show other people? People of the world, worldly people, people that operate based on the flesh, they always ask, what can you do for me? What can I get out of you? How can you serve me? How can you make me happy? How can you do me? Everything is me with the world, you know? But with those who are of the Spirit, they look for ways in which they could be of service to other people. They look for ways in which they could be a reflection of God's glory. They want to bring you to God, and the best way to bring anybody to God is to show them how God works in their life, is to show them how His love has saved and has rescued them from themselves. You know, so I realize it's really important. It's truly important to deal with those that have a spiritual inclination and that are close to God, and not just word, but also deed. What are they doing to demonstrate that they are spiritual people? Because there's so many false prophets in this world nowadays. You don't know who to trust. Everybody got some kind of hoax and some kind of scam, and you know, it's like Second Timothy 3 says. You know, there are a lot of people out there with a form of godly devotion, but proving false to its power. And so you really need to be aware. You know, me, myself, I'm on the journey. I'm on the path. I'm still trying to figure this all out because the way it stands now, I'm starting to see a dramatic difference between people that are of the Spirit and people that are of the flesh. God's people and worldly people, the devil's people. What I realize is that people that are infected with the spirit of the world, they will cut your throat, watch you bleed out, and use your blood as an energy source. Really. But those who are good natured, they can't do that and still have a clean conscience before their Heavenly Father and before their great Creator. They can't do that. So it's really important. If you take nothing from this video, take this. Please hang out with those who are spiritual, who are of the Spirit, and who believe in God and a higher power, because if they don't, they're going to be operating from their lower power, which is themselves, their flesh, their imperfect flesh, and their own selfish desires. And who needs a friend? Who needs a relationship? Who needs that? You need people in your life who are going to strengthen you. You really do, who are going to help you on your journey towards your Heavenly Father. Because I'm telling you right now, anything else is just a waste of time. All you're doing is trying to build with people that are empty. You're trying to build on quicksand. I built a lot on quicksand. You know, these relationships were not built to last. And they were good for like a time being, but still, it's not worth it. It's not worth it because in the end, when you look back, you feel a lot of regret and remorse. And you also realize that you never really had anything. You built your house, your houses on quicksand. So do yourself a favor. Build with people that have a spiritual inclination. Everybody else, to hell with them. This is Lewis Speaks, signing off, saying peace, and I wish you a blessed, blessed, blessed life.